To be honest, there's not a whole lot to this video. It is exactly what it looks and sounds like. I am ranking all 10 of my Nishane fragrances in my collection from worst to best. I hope it's clear that that does not imply that the worst or bottom of the list is comprised of fragrances that aren't good or worth checking out. Absolutely not. I've actually decided to rank this list based on what I'm most likely to wear in most situations. So I'm placing function a little bit higher than I would place taste in this list. What am I actually reaching for and wearing? But I am ultimately factoring both into my decisions. And the caveat I always need to get out of the way in videos like this, as you can see in the title, only 10 Nishane fragrances. You and I both know that Nishane has produced more than 10 fragrances. Therefore, we can surmise that I, Justin Copeland, do not own every Nishane fragrance. And therefore, I implore you to not ask me, where is this fragrance? Where is that fragrance? How is this not here? But by all means, don't hesitate to share with me fragrances from this brand that you love, even if I don't have them. Let me know what you love down in the comments. That's what matters most. Not my list, it's you. Let's dive right into it. Here at the 10th spot, this is one of the most challenging fragrances in my collection, period. I honestly don't even think I've given this a full wearing. I've only ever tried it on my hand, on several blotters. I have showed it to my wife and her sister. I've gotten very, very colorful feedback from them about it. And for me personally, I can appreciate it, but I don't see myself wearing this and enjoying this. It is kind of a novelty in my collection, but again, I do appreciate it. This is called Unutamam. This was perfumed by Miguel Matos, who is known to create some edgy fragrances. I have a couple of others that he's made for other brands, and this, it is animalic. It's funky. There's this pungent castoreum note in here mixed with aromatic herbs, which is such an interesting blend. It makes it very medicinal smelling, very woody. But what I actually do find beautiful about this, as it dries down, there's caramel somewhere in this fragrance that produces this rich, sticky sweetness that comes out a whole lot more on skin, and again, a whole lot more in the dry down. So I actually find the dry down of this fragrance to be quite beautiful. It's actually quite a transformation, but it takes a while to get there. And more often than not, I'm not going to be in the mood and I'm not going to feel comfortable to wear this fragrance for the dry down. So hence, I don't really wear it. Again, I do appreciate it. I know this was sent to me by a subscriber. Forgive me. I don't remember exactly who sent this over, but I'm grateful that you got this on my radar, and I'm grateful I can give you guys my honest feedback on it. Anyway, let me know what you think of Unutamam if you tried it down in the comments. And if you haven't tried it and for some reason you feel called and feel courageous enough to give this a sample, I'll link to a sample down below, by all means. I can easily say that the rest of these 9 fragrances are not edgy to me at all. They're not fragrances that I feel uncomfortable wearing. That last one was really the outlier. But this next one up is good, but I like the original better. That's it. This is Ani X, one of the newer additions to the brand's lineup. There are some differences from the original Ani that make it stand out as something a little bit new, but at the same time, it almost distorts the original to me. It takes it and it like stretches it out. I don't know if you've ever played Super Mario 64. At the title screen, you have Mario's head and you can pull and stretch his face. That's kind of what Ani X smells like to me. It's pleasant. It is reminiscent of what you might already like if you enjoy the original, but there's something about it that's almost too much. It's too dense. It is very sweet. It is very strong. I have choked myself out wearing this. I'm not counting it down and out. I do want to actually wear it some more, but I'm not going to be doing so anytime soon because we're coming into some warmer weather. So I'm gonna wait till fall to come back around to this one, or maybe some really mild summer evenings, we'll see. But even then, I just prefer the original. Sample both if you haven't tried either one, see which one you like more, because you might feel differently, but this is how I feel. That is Ani X. At the 8th spot, really pleasant fragrance, really easy to wear fragrance, and one that actually does have some personality to it. I'm really looking for that in my fragrance wearing. Nishane definitely delivers that, but this one is just a little uninspiring to me. It's almost a little bit too simple. I don't get much out of the wearing experience, not a whole lot of nuance, not a whole lot of depth, but definitely some beautiful naturalness, authenticity, and wearability. This is called Safran Colognisé. Yes, this is from a whole different collection, the Colognisé collection. I haven't tried the original, which I know a lot of you guys enjoy. The saffron, to me, it smells like saffron. It smells like fresh, warm, spicy, leathery saffron. Almost a little bit fruity in a way, almost like this tart black currant feel in there. Ultimately, it wears fairly light while being present. It's something that's fairly versatile, but again, has an identity to it, has a personality, so it is a little bit specific. It may not be a super easy daily wear for you unless you really like this type of profile. I do like this type of profile, but sometimes it's just not what I would reach for the most as far as a fresher fragrance from this house. So it's good, but just not exceptional. That is Safran Colognisé. Up next is a fragrance I have not been shy about my appreciation for. This is Nefs, and Nefs is so beautiful. It is so rich, beautifully complex, extremely unique, very elegant and luxurious smelling, but it's very particular. I have to be in the mood for this because it's a powerhouse. It's sticky, honey dripping fig. Very juicy, but sticky. Sweet with some florals, maybe some rose, some darkness with some oud in there, some whiskey and vanilla as it dries down. It is just this ball of mouth-watering goodness that is a lot. So again, gotta be in the mood for this. Has to be the right situation, typically cold evening. 2 sprays, probably all I need. If I'll be outside, maybe 3. Something that will get attention, something that stands out. And as a result of that, I don't wear it all the time. I'm not always in that situation. So thus, I don't get a ton of wear. That's why it is low on the list, but beautiful fragrance. Nefs, totally worth sampling. Please do yourself a favor. I'm gonna have a link in the description to get a sample of this. Here at the 6th spot, this was actually the first Nishane fragrance I was ever exposed to. I bought this off of a subscriber many years ago, was blown away by it, also kind of put off by it because I wore it in the summertime when I got it, and it was not for that. It did not do well on a hot day, so I got away from it for a while. Upon coming back to it, it is such a stunning fragrance. It is so unique. This is Fan Your Flames. This is an old style bottle with this old style cap. You're not going to find this anymore. I wouldn't say there's going to be any differences in formulation. I can't confirm that, but I'd be surprised if what you find is any different from what I have. This is rich, and it's such a unique blend of ingredients. It's coconut and rum, so there is this almost tropical drink vibe in there, but that is made mossy, dry, and woody and smoky. Lots of oak moss, lots of cedar wood, lots of tobacco. What a blend. You kind of smell everything all at once, but also it dances. Some comes out more to the forefront in the air versus up close, and vice versa. This is strong stuff. Cool weather, evening for sure. It's gonna smell classy. It's gonna smell like a showstopper. You will probably get attention wearing it,
especially if you overspray, which I don't recommend.
2 to 4 sprays, all you'll need of this. That's gonna depend on the environment you'll be in and how much space the scent has to breathe. So spray accordingly, but before you do that, sample first. And if you have tried this, let me know what you think of Fan Your Flames down in the comments. We are into the top 5. At least at this point in my life, this could change at any time because that is the only thing constant in this life, change. This is the fan favorite. I still love it. It's only ranked this low because I don't personally wear it very much, mainly because my wife has basically adopted this fragrance in our collection. She wears it a whole lot more. It just feels like more of her personality at this point in time. That's just what it is, but I might touch it here and there. This is Ani, the OG, perfumed by Cecile Zarokian, one of my favorite perfumers on the planet. Beautiful ambery vanilla with this fruity, tart quality black currant in there, some spices. It's pretty gourmand. It almost smells like a dessert or a cake in a way, but not overtly fluffy vanilla, whipped cream, anything like that. It is still very much a body scent. It smells like you would smell it on a person. This is date night. This is luxurious night out. Don't overspray it. It is an alluring scent. There's something beautiful about sweetness in the air when it's not overpowering that just draws people in. This does it very well. I know a lot of you guys already enjoy this. If for some reason you haven't yet tried it, do yourself a favor, get a sample at the link down below. There will be a little discount code if you're interested in saving some money. Don't know why you wouldn't be. Anyway, that's Ani. Yeah. At number 4 is another favorite in the community. This is a darling. Took me a little bit of time to come around to it. I just didn't really try it for years and years. No, I take that back. I did have a decant that I got a few years ago. I gave it a couple wears. I wasn't moved by it for whatever reason. I came back around to it after getting this bottle, and the beauty of this scent really revealed itself to me. This is Wulong Cha. I see why so many of you guys enjoy this. Some of you might even almost wear this as a signature scent. It can be worn just about anywhere. It is fresh, musky green, very calming with its tea note, has a little bit of a citrusy brightness when you first spray it on, kind of lemony, mouth-watering, but it just dries in this very soothing manner. It is a comforting scent profile, but it is one that persists. It will last. It gets muskier on the skin, gets a little bit sensual, but overall it's pretty fresh. That is Wulong Cha. A fragrance that I like even just a touch more than Wulong Cha, and I'm talking about just like this much, is Wulong Cha X. The X version is a beautiful pivot to the original. It is purely based on that DNA, unmistakably, but you can tell that it's denser while still being fresh. It has more of this waxy, dense nuance from Magnolia, this floral blooming quality that is not powdery, that is not overly heady. It just adds this texture to the scent. Again, kind of congeals it a little bit. Again, less fresh, but still a little bit citrusy, still musky, still has that tea vibe. So it's calming, but it's honestly just a little bit stronger, a little bit less transparent. Something that you could still maybe wear signature wise in terms of any situation, but I would definitely wear the original on a hot summer day out before I would reach for this one. But this is lovely, just captures my attention just this much more. Wulong Cha X. I was really tossing these last two back and forth. Which one's number 2? Which one's number 1? They're both wonderful. If you ask me again in a month, it might change. It doesn't matter, but you can't go wrong with either one if you trust my taste. B612, unique, contemporary fougere. It has some typical elements of the barbershop fragrance, aromatic, clean, almost soapy lavender, kind of sweet and creamy with this almost tonka bean, slightly vanilla-like sweetness, but it is still mostly clean from that lavender. Some woods backing it up. In this particular fragrance, you don't have a lot of spice, which is atypical of a fougere, and you have some more synthetic ingredients like cashmerean, which brings this very unique woody, dry feel to the scent. And that paired with the cypress can be a little bit much for people. I think it's what gives it its personality, very woody, and that might not be your thing, especially if you get it, you spray it on your hand and you smell it up close. It might be a little bit much, so you have been warned. If you happen to sample this one, spray it on, let it breathe, let it come to you. I think you'll find it very gentlemanly, very sophisticated smelling, but also so easy to wear. And definitely no slouch for a fougere, for a fresher style fragrance. This is pretty much all day wear for me when I choose to want to don this vibe. B612, amazing. And some of you guys already know what my number 1 is at this point. If you've been following the channel for the last couple years, this one took me by storm. I did not expect to love this. I didn't know what to expect from it. When I got it blindly, it blew me away. It is kind of a fougere-like fragrance with so much more depth. Papilefiko does not get anywhere near as much talk as I think it should, but that being said, I understand why. It is something that wears a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mature, not old-fashioned, not vintage, none of that. It just smells like a more mature personality. You got to walk with confidence. You're not just running around partying, trying to impress girls. You're grounded in who you are. You don't need anyone to really affirm that. That's the vibe I get out of this. Again, kind of fresh with this fougere-like quality, quite spicy in this case, lots of cardamom in here, and I think the cardamom brings this allure to the scent. It makes it so you could actually pull this off, not just in these classy like daytime professional occasions, but you could wear it more on a fun night out, something that's a little bit more upscale. This can serve that purpose too. There's a little bit more depth here from some resin, along with moss, brings this richness, this dry, slightly sweet, dimensional quality to the scent. This fragrance just makes me feel incredible when I wear it. It's as simple as that. That's why it's number 1. This is based on obviously function, as I said, but the feeling here, that's why this edges out B612 just by a little bit. It's the feeling that I get when I wear this fragrance, and it's based on that merit that I would rate this fragrance a 10 out of 10. Not just how it smells. I know it's weird, but I think if you know, you know. That's Papilefiko. All right, once again, you can try all these fragrances down at the links in the description, and I want to know what you think of these fragrances if you've tried them. If you have an absolute favorite that I don't have on this list, let me know what that is down in the comments. You guys already know I want to know what you love. It's all about the exchange. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.